Welcome back to the Miami Marlins franchise, everybody. What a season we are having here in the 5th year of the franchise. We've been playing some really good baseball lately, and we'll see if it can keep up. The Marlins are 40-26. I was hoping to see us be much more competitive this year, and this is exceeding my expectations. We have the second best record in the major leagues right now, only behind the LA Dodgers, who have played one less game than us, and if they lose it, they'll have the same record. But we're actually going to play the Dodgers here coming up, and it's going to be a fun test to see if we truly do compare to a team of their caliber in Season 5. Pitching was the priority when we came into the year, and I'm happy to say that all 5 of our starters have played well this season. And the back end of our bullpen, even missing Jose Alvarado, has been rock solid, with Cole Sands saving 19 of 19 opportunities he's gotten. If we sort by the FIP stat, fielding independent pitching, you're going to see the back end of that bullpen are the best players there. And then you're going to get into the entire starting rotation. Nobody's really having a bad season in the rotation. Even Noble Meyer, whose numbers are, not tremendous, but he's also not costing us games, and he's developing along the way. I look at our lineup now, and I see 5 really solid contributors. But now I'm thinking, if this team is to get the most out of this season, what do we have to do the rest of the way to keep getting better? Because the job is by no means finished. We got Marcelo Meyer playing some right field, but not really all that well. His bat has been pretty underwhelming over the course of this season. We have some time, though, between now and the trade deadline to see if anybody starts to pick up their play or if there is actually a move that needs to be made. And not as sellers this year. Could we actually be trade deadline buyers? I'm not afraid of that, especially because we have so many top 100 prospects in this organization. We also know that last year's first-round pick, Doug Butcher, is not going to be helping us later in the season like I had originally planned because of his dislocated ankle. So it's time to push forward then. The draft is in 33 days, and we are 40-26 to get the fun underway. We're going to avoid Paul Skeens in this series against the Pirates, which doesn't start out very well for us. Jared Jones shuts us down. But then we shut him out, and in the process, we have Ryan Pepio go 8 innings of one-hit ball. So close to a no-hitter. And then we wrap things up with a 7-2 victory. That's another series that goes our way. I'm waiting for a custom game entry to pop up here, but it's not giving me anything yet. We split the first 2 with the Dodgers. On the scouting front, we have a couple players here I'm getting information on. Jose Santana is a pitcher who is only going to have 63 to 79 potential. And then Emilio De Jesus is 9th on our board, an outfielder. And I'd certainly like to keep adding outfielders into this team until we figure out what we're doing long term. Now we're getting a bunch of left field information as well. I really like Jacob Ordonez right now if he were to be there when we pick at 9th overall. Chris Cisneros, 72 to 97 potential, is 6th on our board. He doesn't have the power I'm seeking, but I think he's good enough to still be in that first-round pick conversation anyway. And then the scouting is done here on Cy Witt. Big-time riser, 48th on the board, but might be more of a lower B potential guy that is fairly well-rounded. Kind of interested maybe with that 47th pick or if he lasts until 90. And let's switch things up a little bit to get this episode started. So I don't play a lot of full 9-inning games during the regular seasons anymore. Typically opening day, the final game of the year, and maybe a couple others. But we're going to get this one started. Big game against the Dodgers. Who's taking the series? Are we actually 4-1 against them this year? Here's the head-to-head apparently for this season. 5.6 runs per game. We're out-pitching them. And we have a better OPS. So we've had the Dodgers number in Season 5. And if we can compete with them, you'd think we can compete with anybody. We got Max Meyer taking the mound. His last start was a rough one. That was that 9-1 loss we took in the first simulated game. So let's get Max Meyer into the action. Mookie Betts leads off for the Dodgers. Now let's play some more baseball here in Season 5. Down below, Henry Velazquez projected to be the first pick in the draft, and Mookie Betts is going to open the game with extra bases. That's going to be a double. Oh, wow. Mookie Betts got hurt sliding into second base, and he's going to come out of the game. There's Tommy Edman coming out, and now Nathaniel Lowe. Dodgers have made some moves over the course of this series, adding in Kyle Tucker and a couple other notable names. Lowe bounces it. Hank Holder at short will retire him. Kyle Tucker, Jose Ramirez, Trevor Larnach, Gleyber Torres, Tyler O'Neill. A lot has changed. You'll notice Ohtani is not in the lineup, but Kyle Tucker is. 297, 10 homers. So I'm actually not sure where Ohtani is right now. His stats are not on the page at all. We'll see if we can keep this run from coming around now. And we got a full count on Tucker. That's upstairs, so Tucker walks to bring up Jose Ramirez. He comes in hitting .348 and falls behind Meyer. Slider bounce. Can we get two here? Not going to have the time. 1-0 Dodgers. Roki Sasaki is who we're going to be facing, and his stats are ridiculous at this point of the franchise. After a couple years, he had emerged as an elite player, and he has back-to-back Cy Youngs under his belt. So this one ain't going to be easy. 1-0 LA. That's Xavier Edwards into center field, but an easy play. We've broken out the 90s home alternates with the teal accent. I like these a lot, and I had a request to break these uniforms out, so here you go. I apologize for missing another Sunday upload. I'm trying to get this series posted most Sundays. It's a day of the week where the content tends to do well. But we're going to start this week off with back-to-back episodes for sure. Holder now under a fastball. That, too, is going to be easily playable. Evan Carter, currently leading the center field all-star voting. So I wanted to give you a look here at Evan Carter's ratings right now because he has just become a 92 overall. He's become so good since we acquired him. Here are the ratings from when I traded for him 2 seasons ago when he was just an 80 overall. And in 2 years' time, the contact against lefties has been completely transformed, especially because of his success last year. His ratings are up so much in just 2 years. And he rips one into right field. That's a catch, and Sasaki has a quick first frame. That's a drive from Gleyber Torres. Back goes Carter. That ball is just over and gone. Solo homer. Dodgers take the lead. Hey, it's not opening day. Tyler O'Neill, deep center. It stays in the park. Yeah, I don't think Max has his best stuff today or the previous outing. Yeah, that one was left over the middle as well. It's fouled off by Outman. Can we rebuild that confidence in any way? The fastball ain't there. It's the changeup that's been his best pitch today, I'd say, and he missed it there again. You can't make a living off of outs at 112 miles per hour exit velo. Jeez, what is happening? This is a contract season for Max, by the way, and right now I am probably in favor of letting him walk. I like the way our rotation is with Perez, Pepio, Boz, and now Noble Meyer starting to get some more development. I feel like if we need to, we can find a fifth, whether it's in free agency, trade, or if someone ends up developing for us. Although I'm not sure anyone's nearly as close as I would like, outside of maybe a Robbie Snelling. We'll see if anything changes, but you got to look at your team like a portfolio, and I feel like we don't need to necessarily pay Meyer, especially if the play has me questioning things, and this is certainly a start where I'm questioning some things. I'm not sure a mound visit's going to cure this one. 3-2 on low. That's on the corner, and he gets out of the inning. What a season Connor Norby's putting together. He's now in the All-Star race, putting together the best season of his career. He does have one more season of team control. So think about where his game is here in Season 5, where it could be next season. I've always thought about, his fit with this roster, with the defense not being great. But the offense is now, I think, good enough to help make up for that. Why aren't we listed down below among the potential trade deadline buyers? Show us some love. They don't list us as sellers, at least, so I guess we're going to take that as a win. Sasaki 3-2. And he dropped in the slider for strike 3. Joe Brown steps in, hitting .280 with over 40 RBIs. He is not a rookie. I gave him a few too many at-bats to have rookie eligibility this season. I think in the future, when I have those late call-ups, I think the number's around like 150 at-bats or maybe a little bit less. As Brown's going to put some strength behind this one. Belted to center, but caught. I want to keep a guy like Joe Brown's rookie eligibility alive for the following year. Those PPI picks are nice, and we've become used to basically having 2 first-round picks every year, whether it's because of prospect performance incentive, like when Hank Holder was Rookie of the Year, or because of competitive balance, which we seem to get every time we don't have a PPI pick. Sasaki to Marte, 3-2. That is on the corner. What a pitch to end the inning. That's who Sasaki is in year 5. Back-to-back Cy Youngs. And the numbers this year are in some ways even better than those seasons. That should help the fastball confidence rebuild a bit. Max Meyer 0-2 and doesn't get the call. Strike 3 on the sinker. Looking for the 1-2-3 inning this time, and he left it over the plate. Back goes Norby. And he makes the catch. He did it. Connor Norby just robbed a homer and keeps it 2-0. That's like the first time I've ever actually done that right. Here's Johnny, hitting .216 on the season. How he plays the next couple months will dictate part of our trade deadline plans. I will say, as far as roles go in the offense, the guys in the top 5 are all hitting for average and getting on base. So Sasaki's going to take care of this one. There is the option of replacing Greaves' role with more power because we are getting plenty of base runners. RBI counts show that. We have like 5 guys in the 300 average neighborhood. Yeah, Sasaki's given me a fair amount of pitches I want to swing at, but as you can tell, nothing is going our way. Marcelo Meyer with the average sitting right at 200 perfectly. Are we going higher or lower? How about higher? It's down the line. A 2-out double against Sasaki. I don't feel great about scoring him here, but I do have Xavier Edwards. Let's see if Edwards can get one to fall somewhere. In the air, center field. That ball will not land. It's run down by Outman. Wow, is that Bryce Wilson who has a better ERA than Sasaki? For the Rockies of all teams? That's pretty incredible. On to the fourth inning, still 2-0. Working against Trevor Larnach, and that was a good pitch. Larnach golfs it out of here to put the Dodgers up 3. Really? I like that pitch. I didn't have an issue with it, and Meyer hit the spot perfectly. Just an amazing piece of hitting. I mean, with how hot Larnach is right now in real life, this swing hardly surprises me. Just a good swing. Yeah, I can't see him going a whole lot longer. Hey, Calder! Oh, man. If they give me the option, I'm challenging. And I don't think I'm getting it. Dude. Max is not getting another trip through this lineup. There's no way. Runner takes off. Ramirez, he's got him. That's out number 2. We'll take that. Strike 3 looking on James Outman. I can't believe that swing from Larnach, though. That was an obnoxious home run to hit. To right field, Hank Holder has our second hit of the game. Oh, this crowd's loud. You can't get that loud with like an 11,000 attendance crowd here. I think we're actually getting some people to fill the stadium a bit. And we're not giving the Dodgers credit. This is all us. To right field. Carter with the towering fly. It's going to stay in the park. Oh, he just drilled Sasaki in the leg. It's going to be an infield hit. We'll see if Roki's all right. 100 miles per hour exit velocity. Typically, on balls hit off the pitcher, I almost never see them exit. I think we're okay. But a good chance now with 2 on, and Joe Brown, one of the best home run or RBI producers on this team. Oh, no, not the 6-4-3. Oh, man, inning over. So there's your starter comparison. A lot messier on the right side of the screen. I'm torn between like wanting to use my best relievers to try and win this game, but knowing we're down 3-0 with Roki on the mound, the right move is to put in just Thomas White, whose numbers aren't great, and the culprit is right-handed hitting and the home runs he's allowing. So I've converted Thomas White into a bullpen arm this season so that he can get some major league innings, and we'll see where his career goes from here if he ever goes back to the rotation. But I kind of view him as a low-leverage inning eater right now, which is kind of what we're in right now. I do see down below the Orioles demoted Rondell Rayburn. He was a really good pitching prospect they added. I wanted to see his ratings. I've actually looked at him as a trade option before, just trying to find higher upside pitchers. But him getting demoted, I kind of want to see how some of these other prospects develop, because I feel like I haven't had the best luck developing pitchers. I want to know if it's working for anyone else. Not a bad pitch there. So Thomas White gets the strikeout and then retires Nate Lowe. And Hank Holder playing right behind the second base bag. That's a good inning for Thomas White. Johnny on a slider right over the middle. A fly out like many others today. Yeah, that's just too much to handle. 98 up and in, another 0 for Sasaki. 4-0 Dodgers. Jose Ramirez. Yeah, that got way up there. 432 feet. Like I said, right-handed hitting home runs has been the one thing that's hurt him this season. And then everybody's been able to hit Ronnie Enriquez pretty well. And Norby is not going to be able to catch up with that one. It's a Will Smith double. And Enriquez comes back, keeps that run on the base paths, but now 4-0. Marcelo Meyer again trying to go the other way, deep to left, and that ball is taken back. Meyer nearly put us on the board finally. And now each team has robbed a homer. Larnach has hit one and now prevented one. Come on, man. And now Hank tries right center field. That's hit well. And run down. Inning over. Runner's going, and that's into the gap. Carter will track it down, but the Dodgers will now make it 5-0. That's a nice pitch there from Xavier Curry, picking up a strikeout. Wow, 33,000 in attendance for this game. I wish we had some in-depth, like, revenue. I guess we have a revenue number, but to track, like, attendance and everything like that would be really cool, because we were not getting 33,000 in here in a midsummer game back in the early years of the franchise. And Joe Brown gets the second out. I was thinking about something the other day, and then someone had actually brought it up on their own in the last stream I did for the Buffalo Bulls Dynasty over on the main channel. But I'd love one day to go through an entire season on MLB and play every game. When I was growing up, and that's going to be a fair ball for Johnny Grieve, like, I didn't do any simulating. That's a double. So I was playing like All-Star Baseball back in the day, or MVP Baseball, and I would just start up a season with the Twins. I would play every game until I basically got bored, and I would never actually get through an entire season. Like, the first time I ever played playoff baseball on a game was for content. It was probably back in either a Road to the Show or the Twins franchise. And I never completed one of those full seasons as a kid. I love to do it at some time as like a gaming bucket list item, I guess. Like, that's strike 3 on Ramirez. I'm not saying I'm going to do it for this series or anytime soon, but like eventually I'd love to find the time it would take to do that. We're talking probably 250 plus hours to get through 162 games, no simming, anything. How many of you have ever played the entire season like that? I think it would be a lot easier to justify if these games had year-to-year saves. And if you could, like, spend that much time with the team but bring them into the next game, I think that would have a greater investment factor rather than, like, knowing you're playing the newest game for 12 months. Are you really going to put all the hours into an entire season when you can't continue it without being okay just playing the older game? Was a little surprised they took Sasaki out of the game. His pitch count was really good, and obviously so was he. But they've put in Phil Maton, who's had mixed results. Base hit center field. We'll get on the board. Nice piece of hitting, Xavier Edwards. I feel like if I were to ever try playing the full 162, that I would want it to be with the Twins, but I'd want it to be on a newer game. Like, if we had some really good classic rosters, like think about the 2K games and their eras feature, where they have those old rosters and the old broadcast style and everything. They do a good job with that. If MLB had something similar, and I could have like the 2004 or 2006 Twins, that would be the environment, but like on a new MLB The Show. That's not even like a content goal. I just want to play that sometime. And Joe Brown just clobbered one. That ball is way out of here. 438 feet. We're still down 3, but I finally hit a Joe Brown home run. It's his 9th. Glad to see this first big season for him is turning into a successful one. I think he has a chance to be an incredible player in this series. Down to our final out. Bottom of the lineup now. Noelvi Marte, left center, says we're not done. And Johnny Grieve now, and we're down to our final strike. And could not get a piece of it. The Dodgers complete the series win and win this game 5-2. So they've won this battle, and hopefully down in the future we clash more. But we know now if we have to run into Roki Sasaki, and we certainly will if there's a playoff series, he's as good as it gets. Jose Alvarado is no longer injured. I thought he was going to be out a lot longer, honestly. And I can't take Cole Sands out of this role, not with how good he's been. 20 saves, 0 blown saves. Alvarado is now going to be the 8th inning guy. Combined 25 saves, no blown saves for this combo. All right, Ronnie Enriquez has 5 years of service time, and he has to consent to being optioned. I'm going to have to DFA him, which I am comfortable doing. He must clear outright waivers before being sent to AAA. Attempt to pass him through waivers. All right, we're going to do that. I felt like Xavier Curry was pitching better than him, and there wasn't anybody else I wanted to move down. Like, these are our core guys, including Milt Merrifield, who has made the most of this spot that opened up when Alvarado went down. All right, we got the Phillies now, and they're going to hand us a second straight defeat. Next day, 4-3, bottom of the 5th inning, and the Phillies are going to take that one as well and the series as we try to avoid the sweep. You know, hot streaks don't last forever, especially for teams in our position. So how do we handle the ebbs and flows of the season? How do we handle a couple IL stints for key players if that shows up? So far, nothing's been too challenging for us in Season 5, but you gotta remember how long the season is. Like, I think about these NFL teams sometimes that are like 9-win wild cards. That's easier to pull off than it is in baseball because of the length of the season. Also, 9 wins usually isn't enough to make the MLB postseason, but you probably get what I mean. Joe Brown works out a 2-out walk to load the bases, and we're going to have him filled for Connor Norby. Looking for some action to break this game open, and clearly these low curves are an issue for me. Oh, the cutter is fouled back. That was a really good cut. To the right side, and just within reach to retire Connor Norby. Inning over. And here's the head-to-head we've seen with the pitchers today. Shane Baz having himself a good game, and I wanted to spend some more time with our starting pitchers today. Got to see Max. Wasn't a great day. But with Pepio and Baz, I think we've had 2 really strong additions to this year's team. 6th inning, 1-0 Philly. Down goes Trey Turner. Freddie Krueger. Here he is. He's finally at the bigs. Third baseman Freddie Krueger. Let's see where those ratings are now. I've been waiting for this moment for a while. We plant a lot of seeds in these series, and you never know when they're going to sprout. All right, contact is solid. High plate vision. Good clutch. Not much of a defense or speed guy, but definitely could be a high on base guy if things pan out. And it's only like the 9th or 10th game of his career. So very little experience so far for young Freddie Krueger. It's probably a good time to bring up I've never even seen A Nightmare on Elm Street, or most horror films to begin with, and down goes Freddie. Strike 3 for Shane Baz. Big breaking ball, and that's put in play for Marte to finish off a good inning. Marte into left field on a sweeper down the middle. Bottom of the order needs to start producing more. Soderstrom now. I like that one. High sweeper. Easy fly ball. Yeah, I got to get Joe Max some more playing time. The 194 average for Ramirez is just not getting fixed. But here against a lefty, maybe he can deliver. And the drive out to right field. It's hit well, and it's run down on the track. Marlins still scoreless. And look who it is. Mr. Overrated, Drew Jones. Now that sounds pretty harsh to those who don't have context from previous episodes. In the last episode, the crowd was again chanting, overrated to Drew Jones. It was maybe the third time I've seen it, and he's the only player I've had in this entire series receive the overrated chant. And then he hits a go-ahead 3-run homer. It was just an amazing moment for the series. Looking to see, though, if he can add on some good moments and build up his story here in the Marlins franchise. 2 down against Aaron Bummer. Wow. Swung through the cutter. I feel like that was timed up all right. Bummer ends the inning. Meanwhile, Boz still has a lot in the tank. We're trying to avoid a sweep in this game. Standings are tight. We're in first place, but Mets are on our heels. Braves are in the mix. And then the Phillies have been at the bottom for most of this season. Boz strikes out Carpenter. Wasn't expecting to see Bryce Harper here in the 5 spot, but that's where we are. Apparently they have Francisco Alvarez. 3-2 and a base hit to left field. Francisco Alvarez falls behind Boz, who's one good pitch away from ending this inning. And that pitch was too good for contact. Strike 3. AL pitcher war leaders down below. Jordan Hicks is 3rd in the AL. So that trade helping out the Yankees this season. Alec Bohm takes inside. Good eye that time. And with Max Kepler coming up, I think we're going to make a change. I've only seen this one 400 times as a Twins fan. But I am going to be putting in a lefty against Max Kepler. So I'm choosing Jose Alvarado in this spot. Usually I just put a guy back in his previous role when he comes back from being hurt, but Cole Sands has just been unbelievable. There's no way. Kepler falling behind 1-2. Let's see that 12-6 right here. Got him! And Ramirez will end the inning. 2 hits on the day for Miami. That's all. We got to work on that. Hank Holder just late. It was 100 miles per hour from Sir Anthony Dominguez, out number 2. And I'd be shocked if this guy isn't in the All-Star game this year, competing for the MVP. Evan Carter comes in hitting .320, 15 homers. And it's ripped into right, base hit. Hits have been tough to come by, so stealing a base might be ideal. Carter goes, and he'll have second base. It's Joe Brown, 2-2, and it's full now. And he got him on the slider. Strike 3. Here are the bullpen stats on the year. I wish we could just see this from other screens, but clearly it's an excellent bullpen. Top 10 in so many categories. And the one we're not top 10 in is innings. Who cares about that one? Justin Crawford now facing Jose Alvarado. We'll leave him in for probably a couple more batters. Got him. What a pitch. Trey Turner down 0-2. He goes down looking. Getting a piece of the outside edge. Only 16,000 attending this game. Maybe that Dodgers one. Was that a Sunday game? I think it was. Nope. Usually get the higher attendance on the weekends. 3-1 on Freddie Krueger, and he's going to walk. And he got jammed badly. Inning over. All right, they just brought in a reliever whose ERA is 8-something. We need the run. Thought we had one there to drive. Got him. Good cutter. Full count here to Noelvi Marte. Soderstrom is on deck. And that is a walk. 5 homers, 18 RBIs, but Tyler Soderstrom as the DH hasn't been the most successful experiment. Just not consistent enough. And I think we're going to have to explore all our options going into the rest of the season, how we want to attack things. I think DH, outfielder, definitely on that trade deadline wish list. He struck him out. And with Augustine Ramirez struggling, we are going to put Joe Mack into the game and get a lefty out there. Mack this season is hit .243. He's definitely in line to get some starts. I'll make that change after this game is over. What about coming through right here, though, with a big swing? It's into left field, though. Mack delivers. We're going to have to hold Marte. And it's Drew Jones. Is this who we want in this spot? Jones or Marcelo Meyer? Meyer doesn't have the highest batting clutch. Jones, 57. It's not much different. But Jones came through for us late last episode. We're leaving him out there. 2 aboard against Keegan Thompson. Ball 1. Fans chanting something a little different now with Jones at the plate. Let's go Marlins, 2-0. It's into right field. It's down. Jones delivers. Game tied. And holding at third is Joe Mack. Coming through in the clutch for the second straight episode, Drew Jones. And here we go. Xavier Edwards against the lefty Gabe Spire. Numbers are not great. Righties are hitting even better than Xavier Edwards usually does. It's in the air, left center field, and we'll head to the ninth, still tied. Jose Hernandez now. Now, lefties have hit him well. We're going to see if we can work on that a little bit here. But it's the ninth inning. I'd certainly still rather have a lefty face Kerry Carpenter and Bryce Harper back-to-back. Gotta think those averages are coming down. Maybe not yet. Just keep it a single. Come on, Evan. No, guys. This isn't our thing. Don't poke the bear. Down the line. Norby chasing to the wall. And Carpenter rounds third. Holder nails him. The game remains tied at 1. I gotta blame the fans on that one. Why would you ever give unnecessary fuel to a star player? Why would you ever do that? That's a rookie move. Stealing third? He's got it. Drew Waters just stole third base. Coming in to run for Bryce. Wow. That's Mac behind the dish, by the way. He has a better arm than Ramirez, but we've seen Ramirez do a pretty good job, at least throwing accurately. Disappointing throw there from Joe Mack. All right, a strikeout here would be very, very nice. And the 2-2. Oh, boy. Let's do it again. Full count. He struck him out on the change. And now with Alec Boehm hitting 298. Thought about Sands. I'm going Dylan Coleman. And for the record, his pitching clutch is one higher. However, 351 against righties. What am I getting myself into with this at-bat? Here we go. You gotta be kidding me with that placement. Dude, stop that. Both pitches are just right down the middle. 3 in a row! Boom goes the dynamite. It's foul. 3 pitches in a row. I want a mound visit. What are you doing, Dylan? This isn't darts. That's not impressive. At least it broke up the trend. Oh my God, it's getting through. Base hits. We gave up the left on left and the right on right. The stats told us was dangerous. Can I have my stats back? I want to be able to see those average splits before I call a guy in too. It's Hernandez and Coleman that are weird with the reverse splits. There's nowhere else until they're brought in. Can I see those numbers? I believe. This is not Coleman's day. There are the standings down low. Mets a game back. Nationals 3.5 back. And Phillies looking for a big road sweep. How do you... I mean, it's an impressive slurve. I actually kind of get missing that one. That's a nasty pitch. The human eye just can't handle that. And the slurve gets it done. But we're trailing again. At least we got the right hitters up this inning. And we'll try to do this against Griffin Jacks. So both teams sport former Twins who are their closers now. Jack 16 of 19. Lefties give him more of an issue. He's a fastball sweeper guy. Fastball's at 97, missing into Hank. Jammed down the right field line. Wow, what a run. He caught it. Way out there is the first baseman. MVP chance for Evan Carter now with one down. Jack's ahead. No, this 12-6 is broken out. All day long they've been doing that to me. It's up to Joey Brown. Almost got a piece of it. 3-1. He's got to give us something here. And it's off his leg. Kicking over to Alvarez, and Joe Brown is on. Marcelo Meyer gives us just a little bit more speed. And now Connor Norby busts his bat, racing up the first base line. He's retired and the game is over. And we just got swept by the Philadelphia Phillies. Tough way for this one to go down. Drew Jones gave us that exciting moment, and the lead quickly returned. Back-to-back series losses. The schedule's had a way of having the teams in first and second place just keep playing. So the Mets are next as we go for 6 games on the road. 43-32 now. I'm actually kind of impressed. Ronnie Enriquez cleared waivers at 78 overall, but now I have to move someone else down. All right, in this series now against the New York Mets. And yeah, you know what? When the team isn't playing great, we just lost, 5 of 6. You like your ace to be the guy who gets things back on track again. And here it's a competitive 2-2 game in the 4th inning. Runners at the corners, too. Lindor trying to put the Mets on top. What is that? That's going to bounce away, and no throw into second base from Joe Mack. Now we really want this strikeout, and we're not going to get it. Instead, Lindor drives in run number 3. Strike 3 to end the inning for Yuri Perez. Let's go and hopefully get some more situations from this game. They're going to send us now top of the 6th in a 2-run game with Joe Mack. I don't know what's going to happen at catcher the rest of the season. We're not getting the play we need from Ramirez. I'm not sure about making a big-time trade at the position either. Probably look elsewhere. Oh, that one felt like it was going to be good. And a battle here with 6 pitches. I saw a few sweepers away. Laid off 2 of them. Now the 2-2 just off the plate. Got him on the sweeper just too early. And they're going fresh arm to face Johnny Grieve, and they'll put a righty in the game, Jose Butto. Hitting 107 with runners in scoring position. Not great. And he drilled the corner for strike 3. In the 7th inning, we now have a runner at third for Evan Carter. Can we get within 1 again? 422 on base for Evan Carter. What an amazing season this has been. And a great addition from the Rangers. Both teams came out of that trade with really good additions. What do we get 3-1? Nothing good. 11 homers for Connor Norby. That ranks 2nd on the team this year. Yeah, I got jammed there like the one that ended the last game. Carter goes. Chased high. Stole second. And again, big at-bat for Joe Brown. 10 homers now. Really picking up the power. 2 homers over his last 4. And he's mashing with runners in scoring position. 373. That's how you get to 46 RBI so fast. I don't think we're getting anything here. Marcelo Myers on deck. 3-0. We did, though, into right field, and Joe Brown will tie this game. It's 2 more RBIs for one of the most clutch hitters on the offense this season. I wasn't expecting a fastball down the middle that time. We're going to go to Hank Holder at the plate with Drew Jones on and 2 outs. That's a drive! Blasted to left, and Hank hits this foul. 3.6 feet outside. Would have given us the lead. I'm having Jones go. And he'll steal second base. It's hit well to left field again, and run down, inning over. We'll put George Soriano in the game now and see if we can score this win against New York. It's been a challenging episode, though. These games are going down to the wire. We continue to trade leads, have these close calls. Joe Brown continues to be a big-time player. 2-2 on Ronnie Mauricio. That one got him jammed. Nice pitch. Lucas Erceg is the pitcher for the Mets, their closer. 1.69 ERA, 24 of 28. Not an easy guy to get this one run against. He leads the National League in saves. And he gets up to 102. 3-2 now. Seeing a lot of that fastball in this at-bat. And it's to left field, coming in. It's going to land, and the tying run is aboard. Now, Hank usually hits after Edwards, but the lineup's a little bit different today. Evan Carter now. Can he flip this game? Fouled back and down 0-2. That was a nice pitch to jump on. And it just froze me there. I don't know why. Sinker down the middle. That's a drive from Connor Norby. It'll stay in the yard. 2 outs. Well, who else would you want up in this spot but Joe Brown then? Got us runs 3 and 4. And now it's all on him. That was not the sound you wanted to hear there. Game over. Mets win. Another tough loss for the Marlins today. 3-7 so far in this episode. Tarek Skubal's on the mound in the following game, and the Mets hand us what's now a 6th consecutive loss. And they have taken over first place with these 2 victories. Let's take a break to go back to scouting, and Emilio De Jesus just went up the board even more. 79 to 95 potential, and now there might be a little more power than we originally realized, and that's why we continue to scout some of these guys. He might have a lot of things that make him a great pick there in the top 10. Milt Cabrera was the pitcher I targeted this time around. We're going to get 72 to 82 potential with him. Another option beyond the first round who has a lot of movement on his pitches. More of a finesse guy. A lot of break, good homer control, high stamina. I talked earlier about the Orioles pitcher who was sent down. Let's go take a look at Rondell Rayburn. I know he's one of the best pitching prospects in the series right now, but they did option him. So high stamina, really good hit per 9, like 70s, that mark I want to see players at. The walks are the primary concern, and I'm not seeing any major league numbers. So I'm not sure why it said he was sent down. He does have an option used, so something happened there at AAA. Does appear it's been an up and down year. 1.6 whip, 4.5 ERA. I also saw that Angels' Jason Sellers, who was a very early pick in the series, first rounder 2025, he's already in that Cy Young conversation. And with 97 hit per 9, yeah, you don't have to worry about the strikeouts not being there. There's not much they're doing when the ball's in play. A career 1.12 whip pitcher. I think he's going to be really good for a long time in this franchise. Here's a look at all of our starting pitching again. Robbie Snelling's down at AAA. He's very close to his potential, though, so I'm almost wondering if he ends up being more of a reliever, maybe a 5th guy in the rotation, but the ceiling isn't much higher. Jorge Vizcaino, he's down at AA. I believe I had started him at AAA and then moved him down, but his numbers are definitely improved this year. I wanted to see him really dominate that level before moving up because I want that hit per 9 to get better, and we're getting a +4 in that category. Vladimir Ortiz, then, one of our other good pitching prospects down at AA. 71 overall, and I think doing a pretty good job this season especially. A 1.97 ERA, very low whip against, only 2 homers in 50 innings. Those are the guys we got coming up. Back to the major leagues now, and we just got swept by New York. Back-to-back sweeps within the division that push us into second place. Jose Hernandez having a tough episode. 7 more in the division to go still here, and trying to end this little losing streak. We will shut the Phillies out, and of all players, Noble Meyer coming out with 5 scoreless. That's a big day. Having trouble winning back-to-back games, though, and the Phillies hand us a 3-2 loss, followed by another outing for Yuri Perez. Marlins win this one 5-3. Holder and Johnny Grieve actually hit home runs. Let's jump into the 4th game of the series then. Runners at the corners, it's Marcelo Meyer. Got to get us in front here against Andrew Painter. Back up the middle, base hit Meyer. On to third base. We will get in there just safely. I saw it was still rolling. I'm like, how do I not at least test him there? Well, we replace the runner at third and have the lead. Oh boy, trying to go a little bit further up on that swing with Soderstrom. That is going to be a ground ball. Can they get 2? They do. All right, Max Meyer going into the 4th inning now. Looking like it's a better day this time around. Kerry Carpenter with a blast to the gap. And that has a chance to tie the game as Norby chases it down. And we are indeed tied at 1. And now Max Kepler rips one to right field. They will hold the runner. And the Phillies look to take the lead. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Rodolfo Castro just launched one out of here. What is going on? Center of the plate again. I mean, I have not been able to get much luck with Max Meyer today. That's what I'm talking about. Drew Waters hitting like 192, just dribbles one through. Well, after giving up 4 runs, we'll see if we get any more situations. We do not. It's a split against Philadelphia. Oh, they scored 12 runs total. Okay, that was only the beginning, apparently. Thomas White and Xavier Curry each gave up 4. Picking up the play recently has been Johnny Grieve. There is some good news here. Up to a 78, Johnny is hitting 297 over his last 10. We open a series now against the Washington Nationals. We sit 2 games ahead of them right now, and it's been a rough stretch. And, you know, we're going to have... This isn't our last cold streak of the year, most likely. We have to show we can get on the other side and still maintain this level of play. Let's see if this series can be the one that gets back on track before we go on a little road trip. Nice for us to get some base runners here in the first and load them up on a player lock day for Johnny Grieve. Hit his first homer of the season recently. Will I hit a homer with Johnny in this series? Took me a long time with Otto Lopez and Xavier Edwards. 2-0 here from Jake Irvin. To right, it was late and caught. Not too many big offensive days in that stretch either. Like, there were a lot of winnable games, giving up 3 runs or less. Pitching's been great. Jose Hernandez now trying to wrap up the 7th. It's Darren Baker. And that's a routine ground ball. Johnny on target. Pretty quiet game overall. Here's Edgar Santana. And Johnny gets another relatively simple play. And Cole Sands, I believe, is still perfect on the year. Leading off the 9th, Wilson Contreras. And it's past him. But the Nationals can't move him over, and that is going to do it. It's a 2-0 win. Good job, Ryan Pepio. The next day, we have a chance to tie this game. Let's jump in with Hank. Getting ahead now, 2-1. And 3-1. It's Evan Carter after Hank. And we got to let that one in. Wow. Perfect slider. Sakura comes back after falling behind with 2 excellent pitches. 3-2 now. Evan Carter looking for something. Or we could perhaps load him up for Connor Norby. And he pulls it into right field. It's down. And we will add 1 run. And down goes Connor Norby to end the inning. We'll see if we get more situations from this game. And we do after tying it. Haven't had too many games scoring more than 5 runs lately. See if we can push for that today. 2 aboard for Edwards. A lot lower average with runners in scoring position. Much better at setting the table. And it's on the ground. Edwards does not come through in this spot. But as we simulate forward, the Marlins do end up winning this game still. We got a couple runs late, scoring in 4 straight innings as Cole Sands gets another save. Hank with 2 homers on the day. And that's going to conclude the month of June. We're just a couple weeks now from the All-Star game. And we're almost done with the entire scouting season. Just scouted some broad positions here in this last week. I have 2 more sessions to go. Wow, Emilio DeJesus. We scouted the entire East region this time, and he's just jumped up to our #1 player. What are the chances he's actually there for us at 9, though? He's 5th on the MLB board, even better on ours. Now, we know that the mock, or at least what we saw on the ticker, was saying Henry Velazquez was expected to go #1. So they both can't, obviously. But also, I think about the way Doug Butcher fell last year, and we ended up seeing like he was extremely injury prone and is already hurt for the entire season. If we were to get one of these 2 prospects to fall, could that also mean that maybe there's a hole in their game that we missed again? Before we're done, though, I want to get some info on Antoine Rosado, just looking at that high potential and overall range. Got to see how good this offense really is. And, you know, maybe he's out of reach, but I feel like I'm finding so many players who are good enough to go in the top 10. And we know some of these other teams are going to freelance. We've seen that all throughout the series. There are surprise picks in the top 10. I'm happy if we can get Emilio DeJesus, Henry Velazquez I like, Jacob Ordonez. If we can just have 4 or 5 really good names there, good chance someone falls. Maybe Richard Castle could also be in that conversation. Finishing up our series against the Nationals, and we get Bobby Miller. Top of this lineup still looks pretty hot outside of Connor Norby's cold streak that's dragging down his average a bit this episode. Let's get Hank Holder player lock game out here. Just had a multi-home run game to help us score a win. Shane Baz on the mound going head-to-head with Bobby Miller. 3.4 WAR has him in the top 10 in the National League. Maybe Hank's an all-star this season. Gotta have a few here in our best season of the series, but we've never had more than 2 in the same season. Tried to send Xavier Edwards, but I don't have the option. Little line out there. Carter doubles them home. We'll take that. We get the early run off Miller. There's a draft report down low talking about our targets at 9. I don't think they're right about any of them right now. I have other players in mind. Home run, Drew Jones. He's having a pretty good stretch. 2-1 Marlins. Miami going for the sweep in this game. Here's Jeffers. Routine grounder. Holder, good throw. Looking to get something off Bobby with 2 on the base paths. And a drive to left, but I think he's under it. That's going to go to left center. And no one advances. 88 off the bat. Oh, hey, Rondell Rayburn just got called up now, so we'll see what he does with the Orioles as we'll jump into a very low-scoring game late. Jose Hernandez. Contreras, we could definitely double him up. Let's see if we do it here. Got one there. They said throw it first. I don't think so. I'm getting that lead runner. Back up the middle, Hank Holder, 110 off the bat on a pitch that was barely in the zone. And now let's see if we get that insurance run here in the 8th inning. Running on Gratterall, and Holder is in. 6 stolen bases for Hank is not that many. Evan Carter, meanwhile, into left field, and we are not hitting the brakes. In there is Hank Holder, safe. Marlins lead 3-1. Out of player lock now. 2 aboard for Tyler Soderstrom. Oh, I thought I had it. And popped up. We're going to be heading into the 9th inning then. Cole Sands again. He's going to try to nail down another save. Now, he's had a lot of work lately. Pitched the 27th, 29th, and 30th. And now I think it's the 1st. Maybe we don't have him go in this case. Yeah, we're going to give this opportunity to Dylan Coleman then. 361 average against righties. A bunt put down. Johnny sprinting up. He will barehand and not make the play in time. The average climbs. And a fly ball is hit to Norby. That's no issue. And now Darren Baker. Bottom of this Nationals order, trying to give the big bats a chance. Come on. And there are the standings down below. We are a game and a half back of the Mets. Not a ton of separation in this division, but trying to score a big sweep. Coleman struck him out right down the middle. Jacob Young. He's got to get the righty out now. Popped him up. Joe Mack eyes it, settles under. Bring out the brooms. Swept out of Miami. That's a big bounce back series for us. Evan Carter had a clutch hit earlier. And Shane Baz gave us 6 more very good innings as Bobby Miller is dealt another loss to the Marlins. Bruised leg for Xavier Edwards, but should be all right. And that puts us... broken ankle for Davison De Los Santos. That's not good news. A lot's going to happen here in the month of July now. We are 48 and 37. We have to get to the MLB draft here shortly, followed by the All-Star break. And then what do we do ahead of the trade deadline this year? We are in a very different position. But we have an idea now of what this team is going to look like at the deadline. We're already 11 games above 500. Do we think about making some sort of move, though, for a DH, an outfielder? What makes sense for this team? Tyler Soderstrom has had a lengthy audition where he hasn't shown us as much as I'd like. And then Drew Jones, I think, he's in great form right now. His last 10 is incredible. I'm okay playing Jones a lot more. But what do we do to try and upgrade this team? I don't believe the answers lie at AAA or AA, not with Butcher's injury. Evan Carter, he sits top 5 in National League batting average. For home runs, Yordan Alvarez is at the top. Darrell Ingram has 20. Jonah Bride has 20. And the highest Marlin is Evan Carter with 17. What do you guys think of where this team is now with about a month to go until we hit the deadline? I'm planning on coming back tomorrow with more of the Marlins, and we'll probably be hitting the draft and seeing where this team is at the All-Star break. We got to make the right decisions, though, here in July to get the most out of what's been the most fun season of the franchise. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with more Marlins here shortly. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.